to do is have Rico grab that microphone, say a few words to everyone, and what it's like, what your training was like, Rico, and how you're ready to take this title back to America. Rico Ramos.
Thank you. First off, I want to thank God. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. Also, thank brilliant Al Heyman, Sam the Man, HBO. I mean, this is something real big for me.
Please be quiet in the back, please. Go ahead.
This is something real big for me, and we trained too hard for this. And this is my life. I've been training for 16 years for this, and I want to thank Shimoda for giving me this opportunity. Come July 9th, I got to take that belt home with me, so thank you, y'all.
Thank you very much, Rico. If everyone could just give, try to keep it down a little so that the fighters can speak, it would be nice, and chew with your mouth closed, please. Well, my mom and dad told me that throughout the years, so I can pass it along to everyone else. The champion, and I wish Mr. Honda was here to be a little bit more convincing of it than I am, but he told me it, and I believe it. He said it's the first time in the history of our sport that a champion from Japan has come to America to defend that title. There have been Japanese fighters that have come to America to challenge for the world titles, but from what Mr. Honda says, it's the first time a Japanese fighter has ever come to America to defend his title, which would obviously be history, which, not that I find that not to be correct, because it sounds very logical to me. But we appreciate you coming to America, Shimoda, to defend your title. He's got his translator, Nobu Ishishima, who's going to be interpreting for him, and I want to introduce you and give him a great welcome to America, and taking the shot of defending his title on American turf, Akifuma Shimoda.
アメリカで防衛できるのは日本人が初なんですけども、すごい運命を感じて、こういう場に入れて光栄に思います。試合の日は自分の持っている全てをかけて熱く強く戦いたいので、応援よろしくお願いします。必ずベルトを持って帰ります。
It's the first time that the Japanese champion has defended his belt in the United States, and I'm very grateful to be here. And on Saturday night, I plan to put on a heated, exciting fight, and I plan to take the belt home on Saturday.
Thank you very much. Before I get to the main event, one of the side notes I'd like to just inquire about. It's been said, Shimoda, that you were kind of like a problem child growing up, and that many schools kind of moved you out of there to go to other schools, and that's how you kind of took up boxing in junior high school. Would that be accurate?
No, that's not accurate.
Thank goodness, because I was going to say he seems like such a nice young man, but you can always become a nice young man after having problems as a younger kid. When did you start boxing in junior high?
Before I graduated from middle school.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you very much. In the main event, Kerry actually made mention of the great fights that Paul has engaged in throughout the years, taken on every challenge that's been placed in front of him. And, you know, although that a lot of people would like to see Martinez-Williams 3, including Paul and George and ourselves and Al, everything has a course to take before you get there. And certainly in the vein that Paul has traveled throughout his career, taking on this former great amateur world champion is just another indication of taking on a young, hungry lion that understands what's at stake by getting in the ring with Paul Williams and having this opportunity to try to take his reputation away from him. To go further on that, our partner in the main event with the Lara Williams fight is Golden Boy Promotions. And here on behalf of Golden Boy is their president, longtime friend, and certainly a familiar fixture out here in the New York marketplace, David Ichkowitz. David? Oh. Why don't you introduce, can you?
Yeah. Thanks, Dan. Thank you. You also gave me a promotion. You gave me Oscar's title, which is a president, which is much appreciated. Actually, I'm the chief operating officer of Golden Boy Promotions. It's great to be here at a press conference in New York. Want to thank Dan and the entire staff at Goose and Tudor. They're always great to work with. I've known Dan for many, many years, and they're always great to work with. Also want to thank Paul Williams, George Peterson, and their entire team, all the people behind the scenes for this great opportunity for Arislandi. Also Ross and Kerry from HBO, Ken Condon, and Aaron Davis from the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board. A few people I want to acknowledge, members of Team Lara, before I introduce the fighter. His assistant trainer, Henaro Alarcon, who's in the back somewhere. Edward Jackson, his strength and conditioning coach. Miguel Diaz, who is going to serve as the head trainer in the ring this weekend because Lara's head trainer has a previous engagement with a fighter that he was unable to break away from. And that's Ronnie Shields. So his entire camp has been handled by Ronnie Shields, with Miguel Diaz actually taking the reins the night of the fight. Also want to acknowledge and say a few words. Lara's manager, who from my perspective, is kind of like a brother to him. He's kind of like a brother to all the fighters that he represents. That's Louis DeCubas Jr. Louis.
Thank you, David. First off, I want to thank Paul Williams, Al Heyman, everybody for giving this opportunity. I want to thank Golden Boy, Blue Wave, our co-promoter, Dan, and we're ready for this, man. We've been in camp for 8 weeks. We know Paul Williams, everything he's got. He's a relentless fighter, but with being relentless, he's also vulnerable. And come July 9th, if he comes with that pace, we think we're going to have a huge surprise. So this is the year of the upsets, and everyone make sure you're tuned in July 9th.
Thank you, Louis. Kerry, actually, as Dan said, covered a lot of ground with respect to Lara's background. I know if you look at Williams and his resume, it's a pretty impressive one. And Lara, as a professional, doesn't have the experience that Williams has. But what everyone, in just looking at his record, overlooks is that he grew up in the Cuban amateur system, and he was considered one of the best fighters ever to come out of that system. And Kerry mentioned 320 fights. I think it's important to recognize he only lost 10 of them. So he was 310-10. So even though he only has 16 professional fights, he's experienced way beyond his years. And going back to when he had about 8 fights, his team was talking world title. So this is a fighter that's experienced beyond his years. He has Cuban national championships, world championships under his belt. This is his opportunity. this is it. You know, I thank Paul for